press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello my dear students, hope you people are doing good. Yes, so we have started to discuss about the 7th unit, that is understanding marginalization, right? So the other day we did discuss what actually is marginalization. We even did discuss how marginalization affects a particular place, right? So we did discuss about these things. We did even come across about a story. We came across one particular story that is regarding how the Adivasis are treated. So we even did discuss about who are Adivasis. See, imagine like when it comes to Adivasi, when somebody tells you Adivasi, you have this stereotype, right? Yes, so and so person with all those turban, or say like they have some of the other thing on their head, they are dressing, all these things comes to your mind, right? So that is what is being said. So when it comes to marginalization, let me tell you, see, most of the people, they were if at all the people were less in number, those who could be easily or those who were vulnerable in nature, okay, those who could get dominated easily, okay, so they were marginalized, nothing but they were grouped under one of the category and they were treated very badly, or say people used to dominate on those people. So those were called as those people were called as marginalized people, or say the one who is being marginalized. So when it comes to Adivasis, they were the people who faced this marginalization. Okay, they were the one who felt, or say who were treated kind of not in a good manner. Okay, so that's the reason these people like Adivasis, whenever it comes to Adivasis, whenever a person tells about Adivasis, we have one of the conception saying that yes, this is how they look, right? Yes, so that is about Adivasis. The other day we did discuss, right? So when it comes to Adivasis, even we could see that Adivasi and development, right? So Adivasis, even like a few of the people, they come under these tribes, right? Tribal people and all. So when it comes to tribes, see, earlier days they were considered to be, or they were not given any jobs, they were not even treated properly, right? Nowadays that doesn't happen, right? We treat them equally, we respect them equally, right? Yes. So now you see the days are changing. We can see Adivasis earlier they used to stay in the forest areas, right? So you could see that they were losing their house. They did lose their house. They did lose their land. They did not have anywhere to, like, they did not get any good job. So livelihood was very difficult for them, right? So this is what we did discuss. Now let us know about minorities and marginalization. Now, imagine the other day we did discuss about the Adivasis, right? So who are tribes, tribal people, or say who are very less in number. Now let us know about minority. Who are called as minority? The one like the group of people, okay, it is a group of people who are less in number. Okay, they are not in the greater number, or they are not dominating actually. So the people there are very less in number. The unit is very small. Now, in the unit 1, we did discuss about the constitution, right? So it gives the safeguard measures. Everywhere that has been mentioned that yes, constitutional provision, it says that it safeguards the minorities, religious and linguistic minorities as part of our fundamental rights. So we have already discussed about this thing in the unit 1. While we were discussing about this constitution, we came across this thing that yes, there are provisions related to the religious minorities and, or say, the linguistic minorities. So why is that you feel that minority groups have been provided these safeguards? Why we need any safeguards when we say that Article 14 treat each and every person equally, then again why the safeguarding is necessary? Do you think so it is important thing? Yes. So let us know why it is necessary here. See, the term minority, it is used to refer to communities that are numerically small in relation. Okay, they are, I told you, right, minorities. It is a group of people which are very less in number, like the number of people are very less there. Okay, the same thing, numerically small in nature. So however, if you consider this, the concept goes well when it comes to beyond the numbers. Okay, so it encompasses issues of power, access to resources, and has social and cultural dimensions. See, there are certain dimensions for them. socially, culturally, if you are considering all these things, then definitely it is like, you consider them under one particular group. So as you read, okay, in the unit 1 itself, what they have said, they have recognized that the culture of this minority people, or say majority, influences the way in which the society and government might express themselves. So majority decides. Okay, majority is nothing but a group of large number of people, nothing but minorities, very less number of people, majority is greater number of people. See, when it comes to like, if at all you are considering like the number of people, okay, that matters a lot. So majority, minority, when you are telling, so on the basis of people itself you are telling, right? On the basis of people, on the number of people who are there in the group, if you are considering this, if you are considering that and considering the number itself as a disadvantage for you people, then what is the use? Okay, so here like when it comes to these things, if you are considering, or if the minority being less in number, being, the number of people are less in number, if that is a disadvantage, then definitely you need something to safeguard your interest. Because what happens, see, always we have considered majority wins. Yes or no? This happens. Most of the time it happens that yes, majority wins. So if at all I ask, if in your class I come and ask you people, how many of you want so and so game to be played? Okay, so a few people may raise their hand, few may not. Then we go with the majority. Majority, if they want to play, then definitely the minority will be ignored, right? So that is the reason, to protect their interests. Because as when it comes to the democracy, protecting the interest of people becomes very much important. So that's the reason we need certain measures to safeguard their interest, okay, to protect minority communities against the possibility of being culturally dominated. No person wants their or themselves to be dominated by any person, right? It may be culturally, it may be societally, like it depends. So whatever, if you are condemning a person, if you are dominating a person, then definitely the person would feel bad about it, right? Yes. So they also protect them against any discrimination and disadvantage. Given certain conditions, communities are that are small in number relative to the rest of the society, then they feel insecure. Definitely this happen. See, imagine, as I told you, if at all I ask you people to play a game, then majority will be considered, right? Then minority interest will not be protected here. Minority will ignore, saying that, okay, however, they are not interested, they are very least in number, let's let the majority win. So the same thing happens with the democracy, right? So democratic nation, when we say majority, so what happens? The majority wins here, right? So that the minority's interest will not be considered. So they start feeling insecure. Because their interests, they are discriminated, they are totally treated differently. So those things make them feel that they are not safe in that particular area. So because of these insecurity, the provisions are made there. Okay, few provisions, so that their interests will be protected. They should not feel that, okay, like if as we are less in number, we are not treated properly. Those things should not happen. That's the reason their interests will, to protect their interests and all, we have the provisions in the Constitution. So the Constitution provides safeguard measure, and as you all know, like you have studied in the chapter 5, that is the judiciary. Right, you have studied about judiciary, wherein judiciary, I have told you many a times, judiciary plays a very important role, whatever it is. Though you have so many provisions, though you have many laws, the value will be given only when judiciary, explains it or say interpret it. Okay, so the judiciary plays very important role, and obviously now when the interests are not protected, the fundamental rights, okay, the fundamental rights are violated, then definitely actions will be taken. So every citizen of India has got the right? So they have the rights to approach the court, and if any person violates their fundamental right, they can ask for compensation, or they can ask for the violation. The person will be he will be not punished, but yes, compensation will be asked. Now, let us know about the Muslim and marginalization. It seems like Muslims were treated, now they are not, okay, they have come, they are very equivalent now. though they are into minority, but like if you consider now, the population is becoming equal now. Okay, like Muslims are also like they are coming to the majority. So it is like almost it is reaching the 13%. Okay, so see, Muslims and marginalization, then it was like Muslims were in minority and they were not treated well. That is what has been mentioned here. So according to the census, they were said that Muslims were less in number and they were not treated properly here. They were totally like compared to other communities. Okay, comparatively with other communities, they were treated differently. See, imagine if you are in a Hindu nation, okay, or you are in a, now imagine if you go to Saudi, which is a like Muslim nation, right? Yes, there are so many Muslim nations. If at all you go there dressed up like a Hindu, wearing all this tika and all, so what happens? Like if you put all those kumkum, like what we call like vermilion, right? So if you put those things and you go there, definitely you'll be treated different, saying that okay, this person does not belong to our community. Right, so those differences do arise. So here also, when it comes to Muslims, the data here they have given, there are three data given according to the 2008, 2009, 2011, and even like the public employment even. See, there are different like data taken, that is access to the basic amenities and literacy rate, then the public employment of Muslims. See, now we don't do that. Okay, usually equality is treated now, and even Muslims are getting more priority than any other person now. Okay, if we consider now today present situation, if you consider, because even Muslims are giving tough competition, they are into business, they are also coming, like most of the girls are also coming out for studies, for education, like getting educated, for like jobs, like there is equality. We don't find the differences now. Okay, but earlier days there were differences because the Muslim community, as it got departed, like India and Pakistan, right? So most of the Muslims, Indian Muslims, like they said they don't want to go, so they stayed back here, right? So when they stayed, they were less in number. Okay, probably at that particular time these things did took place. So that's the reason, like in the data you can see the basic amenities which were given to them was very less. The literacy rate also is very less. The public employment, okay, even the employment was not given. Now they have got reservation as a like minority community. So recognizing Muslim in India were like they were lagging behind then. Okay, and yes, now Rajendra Sachar, okay, like he was chaired by the justice. Okay, he is the justice. So the committee examined the social, economic and educational status of the Muslim community in India. In 2005 this was done, and they came up with this particular detail, the marginalization of this community. Okay, the marginalization, whether they are marginalized, etc. So it suggests that like on the range of, if you consider social, economic and educational indicators, the situation of the Muslim community is comparable to that of the marginalized communities, that is scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Like it was in the earlier days. Now we don't find it. Okay, even Muslims are given much more importance, even no doubt, because then now they are enjoying more privileges, more rights, and even they are getting good jobs here, right? Yes. So then see, example, like according to the report, the average years of schooling for Muslim children between the age of 7 to 16 years is very less, because maybe like they are under poverty line, below the poverty line, or probably they are unable to send their children to the school. But nowadays everywhere like Muslims are treated equally. Even in see, if at all I consider, even in your school there are Muslim children, right? So there is no such discrimination, but then it was there. Okay, during maybe like 80s, 90s, they were treated differently. So like yes. And moreover, what happens, the fight between the Hindus and Muslims, it is like because of the differences itself. They don't think and people like a few of the leaders, the executives who have to keep them safe, sometimes what happens, they influence them and create this havoc and all. Okay, this is I shouldn't tell, but again, so taking a risk, I'm telling this anyway. Muslims may wear a burqa, like not every Muslim does wear it, right? If I know, there are many students of mine who don't wear the burqa and all, but yes, for them it is a compulsion, or say that is a traditional wear. But most of my students, so it is see the improvement, or say the development, what is taking place. They are not behind the bars, like they are not behind, sorry, no, it's not bars, it is not like they are behind the parda and all. So now they are coming out, they are getting opportunities. Okay, yes. So yes, there was a tradition, okay, especially the men, okay, Muslim men, they used to leave this beard, okay, the long beard and all. They had this tradition. Now even most of the Muslim people, they don't have that. So only because, see, most of the people, they felt that they should not be the person. See, they were treated very badly. They did not want any other person to make, they did not want to give their identity actually. That's the reason they started, removing their beard and all. Though it was a tradition kind of a thing, or though they had that as a kind of, prestige. Okay, they had that, but only because they were treated differently, only because they felt that they are marginalized, like they are totally treated different, they are grouped into one, as they are minority, they are not cared. All these things started coming into their mind. They started leaving these things. So there is a story given here, like there was a Muslim dominated area wherein during Ramzan there were few disturbances. See, this usually happens. Sometimes during Ganpati festival this happens, and sometimes during the Ramzan. So see, that is what I tell. Better leave the hatredness towards each other and treat each and every person equally. That's it. So see, now, because of the disturbance, what happened, there were two people who had been to their friend's house wearing all those jubbas and all. So Muslims wearing, right, kind of their dress is different compared to our dressing and all. So the two brothers, they did wear some kind of pajama and nice kurta and all, like they did wear because of Ramzan, and they had been to their friend's house. And as soon as they came, okay, they finished their this, what is that, just a second, let me tell you. Yes, they had been for Ramzan puja there, okay, like what they call it, Iftar something, just a second. Yes, so they had this different, because of the disturbance, okay, they had been for a iftar party. Okay, there was a iftar party, so they had been there, and you see, when they had been there, they enjoyed the party. They enjoyed their Ramzan, and once they came back to the house, as because of the disturbance, their parents asked them to change into jeans back. Why this was necessary? Why they had to change, again back to the normal dress? Because see, they could have stayed back in the same dress, right? Why they were not allowed? It is because of this itself, because of the marginalization, because of the, because they were treated very differently, and there was a disturbance here, and they did not want to give their identity saying that they are Muslims, because they knew there would be a huge havoc. So that's the reason they were Muslims being, once they enjoyed the Ramzan, they came and they changed into their jeans. So why this had to happen? Now, so see, there is a link between the economic and social marginalization. So that is what is being said here. And yes, as we have studied in the about Adivasis now, and in the class 7th you have read about unequal status of women, right? You have studied about this. I hope you people remember it. Now, the experiences of all these groups point in the fact that marginalization is a complex phenomenon. You cannot tell it. Explaining about marginalization is going difficult. You never know how the people are treated. You never know how the group is treated. So see, making groups or treating differently, so then they need the measures to be taken for safeguard, because what happens, they started feeling, see when now as the Muslims, people, they were wearing very nice dress for their, as a tradition for their Ramzan, but again once they came back they had to change into jeans. So that is like a wrong, or say that is a very bad thing that is happening to them, right? So this was like, see, this creates a kind of fear, a kind of hatredness, a kind wherein they feel that, okay, so we are treated totally different, so because of these people it is happening. So all these things starts coming into their mind. So that's the reason, without these, because of the safeguardness, because the provisions are given into the constitution saying regarding protection of these people, that has at least that has stopped for a particular time. Else if they would carry with these things, it would go very difficult. So that is what is being said here. So yes, though there, see, we have this unity in diversity mantra, right? So though there are diversity, most of the people talking different language, wearing different dress, having different culture, following different religion, all these things, there are so many things, but still we stand unite. And always when we are united, then these things should not matter. So that is what is being said. Now let us conclude the topic here. Okay, let us see the conclusion. So now we have tried to understand the meaning of marginalization, minority, who are Adivasis, how they are treated. Okay, so all those things we have tried, and we have even experienced different marginalized communities, as we have discussed about Adivasis, Muslim communities, etc. And each experiences this marginalization in different ways. Adivasis had lost their jobs, they did even lose their land, they were treated very badly, they were dominated, they were scolded, they were they were beaten up to leave their place, to give up their land and all, right? It was very difficult for them. But now when it comes to Muslim marginalization, it was they were threatened up, they were feeling that, yes, they were feeling very insecure. So the marginalization is totally different. When it comes to one particular group, the other particular group, you can say that. So each experiences marginalization in different ways, and yes, it is linked to experiencing the disadvantage, prejudice, and even powerlessness. So a person totally feels that, yes, I don't have any power, I really don't have any power, I have become very, I have been treated, I have been dominated. That is what, even you see, even in your class, if a person, if at all a person is not good at studies, or probably is good for nothing, maybe we don't know, but when it comes to studies and all, he is not good. So what you people do, you keep that person very far. So how does that person feel? Very insecure, he would feel that he doesn't have any power, right? So all these things comes to his mind. So in India there are several more marginalized communities like Dalits, you will be reading this thing in the next chapter. And even marginalization results in having a low social status and not having equal access to education and other resources. So because if you are marginalizing, if you are treating one particular person, one particular group of people in a different manner, differently, the social status and even equal access towards education or anything for that matter, it differs. So the Sachar committee report, it also debunked other prevalent myths about Muslims. It is commonly believed that the Muslims prefer to send their children to madrasas. The figures show that only 4% of Muslim children are in madrasas, whereas 66% attend government schools and 30% private schools. So now you see every school is inviting these people. Every school is inviting Muslim people, Muslim children. Yes, definitely there are few people who prefer madrasas. They do go for madrasa and they don't want to attend any other schools. Even now, being a Muslim minority, they are having the rights to have their own educational institution, and even they are doing that, and madrasas are treated as one among such a thing. So the lives of marginalized people can do change. How that can be changed? Only when people get educated, they are thinking changes, and yes, if no one is marginalized all the time in exactly the same way, and even if we go back to the two examples that is related to the Muslims and even Adivasis, like the two children, as I told you, once they finished the Ramzan, they were treated like they were asked to change into jeans. So like we get to know that how the people have struggled in the past. As I told you, right, it is related to the history itself, like it is a past thing, because now we treat each and every person equally, and then the days were like that, right? So now the days are changing, people are getting educated, they are understanding how a person has to be treated. So now Muslims can be found at every single place, right? They are giving tough competition in the educational sector, even in business sector, so you can find them everywhere. So they too are treated equally now. They are not marginalized. So marginalized communities want to maintain their cultural distinctiveness while having access to rights, development and other opportunities. So they want to have the rights and all the opportunities equally, just like the majority people, and they don't want to be marginalized. Definitely, this marginalization should not be done. They should be treated equally. They have to be given equal opportunity. Either it may be related to the education, or even it is related to the job sector, or whatever it is. So they should not be treated differently. They should be treated alike, and they should have a good, like they let them have their own community there. So in the next chapter again you will be reading about the confronted marginalization, which will be discussed very soon. So dear students, we have discussed about the marginalization, like understanding marginalization, which is the other chapters I have finished, and this was remaining, and the other one is there. I'll be definitely finishing that also. Dear students, we did come across so many things. See, very first thing, you are the next people, students who will be becoming the leaders and all, right, leaders of the nation. So see that you try to remove this marginalization totally, right? It should not be done. So treat each and every person equally, let the equality. So this is based upon equality itself. When you say equality in the constitution, why that has not been given? This is the question they want to ask. This is the thing they want to discuss, saying that yes, at one particular place you say that you are giving equality, you are providing equality, right? Then why is that we are being treated unequal here? Why is that we are not getting all the opportunities? See, as we did discuss about the Adivasi story, there you said you did see, right, how the people were treated, how they were threatened to leave the particular place, right? So this is not the right way. That is really not the right way. So that's the reason, treat each and every person equally, remove the marginalization, and let each and every person get the social, equal social status, and let them be economically fit, okay, and even let them get equal opportunity in the field of education and even jobs. So that is what is being said. So dear students, here we will discuss about what exactly is marginalization, who are Adivasis. We will discuss about a story related to Adivasi, how they were treated, how they were removed from a particular area. Then we came across Adivasis and stereotyping. See, imagine this usually happens, right? Adivasi Gadu, when they say, you will imagine the same way, like the picture has been given, right? Yes. So that is how we imagine. So it is like stereotyping, like that is something followed from a tradition to a generation to generation, and now it is not the same way. Now you can find Adivasis very trimmed, okay, yes, and they have lost all the forest areas, they have lost all the lands they had, all these things that has happened. So that is what is being said here. So treat each and every person equally. So apart from that, we did discuss about minorities and marginalization. Even minorities do face this marginalization because they are very less in number, and they feel that yes, they are treated differently. They are not having, or they are not getting the equal importance what they have to get, and they are facing lots and lots of problem here. So that is what they are telling, like they have to be treated equally so that there won't be any problem for them. So if a person is being treated equally, so what happens, yes, they too would enjoy their community, they too would give, if at all they are getting equal opportunity in the community, the other person, they feel that they are not treated equally, right? So if at all we have this attitude of treating each and every person equally, then definitely this marginalization can be stopped permanently. So that is what is being asked, that yes, treat each and every person equally, give equality, uphold the term equality. When you say that equality, then definitely you have to uphold the same first thing. And the second thing is, when you're equal opportunity should be given to each and every person. Apart from that, what they are telling here, so see, like this marginalization can be easily removed only if people are educated, and yes, we can stop considering so and so group into minority groupism. Like groupism should not be done. Dear students, with this we have finished the unit understanding marginalization. Thank you so much for your patience. Hope you have understood, and if you have any doubt regarding this, you can feel free to contact me. Thank you so much, dear students. Have a great day.